I had to just open up sharing on the split. Check it out. We have the Wheel of Fortune double judgment energy coming through with this Mercury retrograde cycle. And it's an interesting one that's unfolding here. There's an opportunity to really transform what's possible for you as far as what you perceive presently as your destiny. You'll get a revision of how you see that playing out and the role that you really want to step into as you forge your way to the stone of destiny when you get to the other side of this transformational process that's underway. But as we open up to the energy of Mercury retrograde, which came on the scene with that Capricorn full strawberry moon on the 29th of June, it came in just shy 3 degrees of forming a conjunction with Jupiter. But have no fear, later in August there is a reprieve, and we do got sugar daddy Jupiter coming on through, making everything a little bigger, better, brighter, and making us feel like maybe all that work we put into transforming our lives and letting the heavy stuff go and trying to take an optimistic view and getting a little bit more disciplined with our focus and holding our feet to the fire a little bit in relation to the things that we know we need to let go of and the things we need to transform. We'll get the blessings coming in on the other side of that. Right now it might feel like it's been an exercise in futility in some regards. You may feel like you still want the same things that you wanted before, and yet your perspective is really going to shift through this cycle. There is a Mercury Cazimi that's really going to bring clarifying energy in on July 12th in relation to this. And we do have Mercury going direct on July 23rd, but we won't be officially out of this energy until we're, out of that zone of the post shadow. And that won't be until the midpoint in Leo season when we arrive at that final exit from that driving energy on the 15th of August, okay? So I kind of want to just get a little view of what's coming in here in relation to this, because right now, it can be a climate where it's like pie crust promises, Promises, they sound like something so delicious, like everything you've been waiting for, and it's actually something that is made to be broken. So it can be reconfigured in a new way that's actually better than what it would have been had it not gone through the revisioning process. And we never like that, right? When there's some kind of plot twist in the storyline. But truly, that's the way it goes. When you're on the road to your destiny, sometimes you get dealt a curveball. We do got a little bit of that dicey energy on the scene. Uranus in Gemini, that's a long-standing transit we're moving through. And then we also got Mars in Gemini right now, okay? So that can add a little heat to the mix. It can add a little willfulness to the mix. It can, have people kind of puffing up their chests a little bit. It can be a little bit of a provocating sort of energy. So I think we're going to just open up here and get a general read for the collective and see what is coming in here for us, this Mercury retrograde. What is the portal we're moving through, this portal of metamorphosis? Where is it leading us? And what are some signposts and synchronicities along the way to help guide us through this territory so we don't act too fast, we don't get too ahead of ourselves, and we sort of throw caution to the wind to the extent that we ignore the details. And the details really count right now. The details are important. So let's see what some of those details may be. And let's also acknowledge where there's been transformation. I got my gold foil tarot combined with the glow in the dark tarot to light up the shadowy spaces and lift us up where we've gone through a transformation, and maybe that transformation will be put to the test a little bit. So let's see what's coming in here for the collective. Ooh, the illusions, the Neptunian illusions. You know, we are going to be having Neptune going into Pisces, okay? So that is that deep territory where we really are moving through that sort of glamour realm. But we have to remember, in Pisces, there's also the aspect of that 12th house energy, and that does have the quality of the blind spot and the ways that we sort of shield ourselves from seeing certain things, separating fact from fantasy. And it's important that we look at the reality of where we're at currently, and from a very broad spectrum, where it's not just about our external circumstances, but also where we're at mentally, emotionally, spiritually. That is everything in relation to what can really be possible in terms of our dreams and the ultimate visions we have for how we would like our current storyline to turn out here. So there may be some confrontation with some illusions here. We do got a shadowy aspect coming up here. Yeah, see, this is the thing, you know, something can be presented to you at this time. And let's just, you know, revisit the reality that retrograde cycles aren't the best time to initiate something new. It's a wonderful time to open up to what does kind of make its way back around, maybe because it can be revisioned, or there's something that can be looked at in a different way or understood from a different vantage point. But it's really coming through as a reflection to go through sort of a checks and balances and a little bit of reintegration with whatever new kind of insight you have in that space, and weighing it up with where you're at now and where you see yourself going in the future, and really sort of looking at it realistically from all angles, looking at those little details, the things that we can kind of just toss aside when we just want to go with the wave of the moment, which this is going to be a wave of nostalgia. It is that wave breaking on the shore that is coming all the way from the grand air, grand water trine back last fall. So there's something here that's going to come in that it's going to be very indicative of the making of our dreams. And we'll want to grab a hold of that, but there's a need for there to be an unveiling here. Like there's certain aspects or details that are still shrouded from your vision, things that might not be all they're cracked up to be. And so it's important that we just allow ourselves to sort of take things in at this time, and then be in a space where it's okay to kind of like rest with it. Just rest with it, not try to make it anything necessarily, but just attune with the energy of it, you know, and feel it out, lean into it a little bit before you make any choices. I wouldn't make any choices until after August 15th, when we're out of that post-retrograde energy. Although I do feel by the 23rd, we're all going to have more of a sense of what's up here, you know, and they'll be kind of getting those little finer details in place here. There is something here that it looks like everything that at one time perhaps you thought was what was going to be happiness for you. And it could be something that you feel passed you by, and here it's coming around, but you have a different view. It's like you have beginner's mind when it comes to this thing, whatever it is. You see it in a different way. It's like you're seeing it from a beginner's perspective of having a clean slate because you've done all this deep healing integrative work. Whereas before, the way that you encountered this opportunity, or this individual, this situation was more from the perspective of your deep wounds and maybe a younger part of you. And a lot is shifted here. So there's this need to sort of get a clear view there, to see the details of something, the nuances of something to look deeper into, even within the communication. It's what's in the subtext there. It's what's not said that carries so much potency and consideration, okay? And the Cazimi will light this up. That's what's helpful about this Mercury Cazimi, is that it's going to illuminate that. There will be clear communication around the 12th of July that will let you know what something really is, what it really is, not what you wish it could be. It might be a little jolt of reality that can be seen as unwelcome, but what if I were to tell you that it's that brush with reality and the way it bumps up against your highest ideals and dreams that's so necessary to make those very ideals and dreams possible? It can't happen otherwise. This is a detail that can't be missed, because whatever has not been seen up to that point is showing you something operating at the core that's causing a repeat pattern here. And this clarifying moment is going to have a moment of refinement coming in to really change this up here, you see. There's also this quality of being in this frequency of really preparing for battle, you know, having your hackles up, having your defenses up, and feeling tired, really tired and worn out. And that's why restoration is necessary, because if you're already operating at a deficit, and if you're tired of dealing with one challenge after another, there's no way that you're going to be in the right space of receptivity to take advantage of any opportunities that are being introduced now, especially when they're in relation to revisiting some aspect of your past or something that you felt passed you by, and maybe you're getting another go at it, but moving in such a way where there's no consideration from the vantage point of measuring up what you've learned through trial and error against your ultimate fantasies is something that could really trip you up, okay? So this energy is coming through for further reflection. There's things that need to be lit up here. Okay, we got some transformational energy, alchemized energy coming in here. Ooh. Yeah, it is something that still needs to be balanced out. Could be something that, yeah, it could be something that feels like an injustice, and yet it's what's required for balance. This is some kind of settling of an old karmic cycle. It's like you're at the crossroads there. And there is this desire to step into this light building phase and really experience this moment of renewal, to feel like you finally got to that brightest star. You finally got to the source. Now it's your time to move into this phase where you're not having to do all this heavy lifting, all this deep South Node work, where you're really just trudging through all the shadowy stuff. But it's like being held up for your own good. It's a delay for your benefit. So certain things can be reorganized in the framework of what is currently just sort of out there vibrating on the quantum field and wants to come into form in your material reality, right? It's a need to sort of pay your dues too. It's like paying a toll, perhaps to a particular troll, in order to get to the other side of something that's kind of keeping that light out of your view. It's something that's acting as a bit of cloud cover here. And that haze will dispel with the Cazimi. You'll be able to have more clarity. And I feel that brings this transformational moment, you see. You'll see something very clear. You'll have total alignment with your truth. And this is when you really do have the ability to release the frustration over delays, release the grief, the heartache, because you have some kind of understanding here. And it's like you become the answer to your prayer. And you understand that all you really need to do is let go and let yourself renew, because you're already aligned with your truth here. You've already found a way through, and there's something currently being transformed. These delays will transform. There is some kind of fulfillment of what you've long desired here, but it has to come after you get over a particularly cantankerous issue. You know, it's something that has almost a pestering quality. It's got like a trollish sort of energy to it, you know, and there's a way for you to build a bridge and get over this, but there is a toll to pay too, right? And you need to find that way through. And so this is something that's going to be balanced out here, I see. But you may feel it's an injustice, right? Because you already feel like life's taking its toll on you. You've been through a lot of stuff, been through a lot of heavy lifting, see, but the delays for your illumination. Okay, Piscean energy coming through with that hangman. We got Libra energy out here. The scales out of balance because there's a balance due. Okay, it is that energy of needing to establish that cosmic sense of balance where everything that is coming into form is truly what is in support of the highest frequency on a collective level when we're looking at this energy. And we can have our own individual perspectives about what's best for us or what we think would really bring us fulfillment. And there's something about, there's a higher hand steering our course right now. There's that something unknowable that's at the wheel. There's something of the great mystery that's trickling through here in these unique experiences that we're having during this nostalgic cycle. But it's also a very heated transformational cycle too, with that Uranus and Mars energy active in Gemini. Okay, it's going to stir things up. It's going to give us some curveballs. It's going to give us some moments for pause here. But the pauses bring illumination. It brings clarity where it's been missing. And it also helps us grok a bit of that mystery, something of true value to take back from that space that brings us forward on our path, just like Odin, when Odin hung from the Yggdrasil tree and was able to understand the secret language of the mystery and be able to tap into that power and that potency, that potential, and bring it forward. Not just bring it forward, but bring it forward to share with others too. So there's something pretty powerful coming through here for you. So it's not injustice, but it's necessary. It's necessary to retrieve a certain truth from the subconscious, to retrieve a certain truth from the heavy times that we've moved through in the past. Also, the heavy times that society has moved through historically, and having that as a point of reflection too, because on the greater scale of things, when we're looking at that cosmic law and balance, those scales of Ma'at, we are looking at that energy of history repeating itself in this cycle too. Okay, pretty potent energy. Okay, so once this illumination comes in after the 12th, we're going to understand the wisdom of kind of letting a certain truth rest and letting go of something that maybe we were trying to grapple with, or we're struggling to figure out or understand. We're going to understand that when you let go, it means you also let go of it, not just in trying to take action to transform something, but you also give it a rest in terms of like, I'm not going to really think about this right now. I'm not going to sit and mentally wrestle with this or, let this eat up my time, my energy, my focus. I'm just going to give this up, because I recognize in giving this up and giving this over, that's what is the transformation point. That's what allows it to become what it needs to be to truly support me and be an accurate representation of this truth that I've arrived at here, okay? Yeah, because see, something here, it's like, it doesn't matter how much you struggle with it, it's never going to be the conquest or the victory. You see, there's nothing to fight for here. And this is a big clue about the way through during this cycle is it's not about one-upmanship. It's not about trying to get anywhere. It's not about trying at all. It's actually this effortless flow that's just about coming into total resonance with what is a true representation of you and who you've become. And it's an inner shift that changes your outer reality. So this is the energy that's really coming through here. Let me get some more details about this with the collective. Okay, there may be an opportunity coming around here too to imbalance what felt like an injustice in the past. And maybe there can be this apprehension around this because you have a little bit of that visceral memory. It's like it's lodged in your cellular memory of what happened before. And there's something about suspending judgment too. Suspending judgment and trust that what you need is going to be illuminated so you can cut your way through any kind of confusion, indecision, and whatever you're facing here. Ooh, okay, there's a lot of transformational coming through, but there is some blockage. There's something of the shadowy quality that's going to fall away here. Ooh. Some kind of misalignment, you see? It's like something you used to think would be the end-all be-all, something that you considered your arrival point actually never would have gotten you where you're meant to go. It's not all it's cracked up to be. In fact, there's something here. This has come in on members before, but it's being called forward here for this collective download. There's something about the way procrastination can actually be an ally, the way procrastination can be an empowerment. It can work for you. Sometimes when you're procrastinating and you're putting things off, that is really something deep inside of you that's like trying to tug at you to illuminate that blind spot. There's a reason why you're dragging your heels with something. And that is a really important key here. Maybe that helps you get over that bridge, pay that toll to that troll. So it's not kind of hounding you anymore. You see, this needs to be lit up here. There's something about your procrastination, something you keep putting off, something you keep delaying, that's trying to save you from rushing forward towards something that you think would be a major like turnaround in the storyline for you, where you celebrate some kind of victory. But it's actually something that really will hold you back in the long run, because there's many things that haven't been lit up about this situation. If you feel pressurized by time and so you decide to invest in an opportunity without looking at all the details, you'll discover quite harshly that the offer is not all that it's cracked up to be. Okay? It may look on the surface like it's that thing that's come through to break up the monotony, to get you out of stagnancy, or to help free you from some kind of inertia. And it might be even trying to force its way in. Ted wants to come in and relieve himself. One moment. Come on in, Ted. You go potty? Okay. Let me let you out, bud. Go potty, baby. Okay. Yeah, this thing is going to barge its way in. I feel that. You know, Ted, he always comes through as a fetch to give us that little piece of information, that little bit of clarity we need. So there's something about this situation where it's going to have the sense of being a little heaven sent, okay? Because I think that it's going to look like everything you've been wanting, maybe even something you've been praying for, or really turning to spirit to get some guidance about. This is something that has been frustrating for you. It's something that may have been a big loss for you. It's something that may have caused you heartache or disappointment. It's possibly something that you felt was intercepted too. I'm going to bring it in. Like, some of you may feel like somebody came in and intercepted what was supposed to be your moment of celebration here. And it's just not so. I don't know how else to tell you this. And you may have this come back around, and this individual or this opportunity may come with a lot of pressure to it. Like, you gotta act now, you know. I don't have time to wait on an answer. It's now or never kind of energy. Or you may put that kind of pressure on yourself out of fear of missing out. And the reality is, if you don't pay attention to the details, you're gonna really discover that the timing was off for this. It was off. It's not even necessarily that what's being offered here is not legit. It's the timing is off, because currently it can't be received from your present vantage point. You see, all this energy is in the shadow here. It's only going to lead to further blockage and stagnancy and more manipulation if you act on this now. Let me let Ted back out just a moment. Yeah, let it back out after it comes in. After you get an opportunity to check it out, hear what it's all about, let it back out. Rest with it a bit. Let me tell you something. If it can't have the strength to even rest for a bit, or it's going to call it quits, it ain't it. You know, it's pretty simple. You know, that's a very clarifying point. For some of you, it could come through like that. You know, if you rush in where angels fear to tread, it's going to be constant conflict. You may even feel like you got just, you know, one thing after another coming at you. And you'll wish you never invited this back in at this time, because it's just going to give you more troubles moving forward, just as you were really giving those troubles over, you know, and about to experience some kind of deliverance here. So this is all this transformed energy, this beautiful transformed energy. So let's see what this, oh, wow. Oh my God. This is powerful. Look at that. I mean, we had that Knight of Cups in the shadow come through. Look, it transforms if you let it rest. It's a temporary delay in order for the grief, for the sense of disappointment, for the delays, for the stagnancy to be transformed and released, to cleanse out the offering, you know, to pour out what needs to be spilled so the cup can be filled with something new, something that'll bring healing, something that'll bring celebration, okay? You try to invest in this now, though. There's no garden that can grow from this. It cuts off the fertility of the Empress. And then you're really just stealing the true opportunity of the moment from you. You see, because this can be transformed. We got the Queen of Cups coming out in the shadow here too, operating from a place of victimization, operating from a place of I don't know what to do. And because of operating out of a place of victimization, feeling like maybe they can't really let down their guard and speak their truth. This is when the head is fighting with the heart. There's too much struggle around, can I be open to this? Can I be vulnerable? And really let this in. That's why there's the need to wait for that illumination to come, you see? Because then what could have been a thief of timing, because timing is everything, comes through quite unexpectedly with that Kazemi, lights up the landscape, shows you where the light is to be found, gets you reoriented with your star. And look at the way you move forward. Chariot energy here. Not through your will, but through giving it over. You see, the rider in the chariot is not the driver. The mystery is driving this chariot forward. And that is the moment of empowerment and alchemy. Look at how the energy transforms. The fire merges with water, temperance. The wheel of fortune turns, and it brings about celebration and arrival point. And instead of this kind of dramatic conflict at odds, instead you got more of a spirited aligning of forces and coming together to work together. And two can toast the fulfillment of the wish and the celebration that was long delayed, and find they are no longer held back because they've earned their keys to freedom and all the gifts it brings. And this is a yes. This is a yes that aligns us with our star. The healing is complete. Transformation complete. Spirit blue energy, the action becomes clear. It becomes clear, and it produces something that hits the mark and is the beginning of gleaning the harvest in the fall. Powerful energy, but it's set in motion right now. It's set in motion right now. I want to get some more details around this. Let me do a cut of the deck, okay? And I'll use that to sort of be the starting point for pulling out around the Kipper deck here to see what's coming through in relation to this. And then we're going to do a little pick your reality tunnel, personalized, pick your adventure kind of portal of transformation guidance, okay? And that'll allow you to sort of sink into your own intuition and get a message very much aligned for you in relation to this cycle. So let me do a cut of the deck here, you know. See, there's still this imprint. This is what I feel like this is. This Ten of Swords in the shadow. You know, we've been talking about this for a while, like feeling like you're still there. So there's like no vitalizing forces that can come in. The reality is you're not there anymore. But the imprint is there. The psychic imprint is so strong that the clarification needs to come so you can really gain an accurate perspective about what's on offer here and where you're really at right now. Ooh, I do feel like the work will be complete though. This is total transformation. I do feel like you will be able to get to the other side of this. Yeah, you're learning something here. It's like, this is like a graduation kind of energy. It's a completion of a course of study, you know, a course of study on the path of life. You know, there's something you had to complete here. And I want to see what that is, because this kind of like slid out of its own accord and introduced it's a course of study. The High Priestess, look at that. It's very powerful. And it's interesting too, you know, that justice was in reverse with the work to be done, right? That transformational work to be done. And we see the pomegranate seed behind the High Priestess here. Persephone Persephone eats the pomegranate seeds to journey down into Hades, to dance with the devil and integrate the shadow and go through that heavy cycle with the start of fall equinox, start of Libra season. And so I feel like there's still this kind of energy that's in that dissension phase. It's coming to completion. It's completion of that work that's been underway since the Grand Air Trine came in October to initiate the energy of the Grand Water Trine. You know, this energy is really coming to a culmination here. But this is when there's going to be a rising up of the energy. It's like you have been learning some very powerful lessons about the soul's alchemy and the way the inner work becomes the outer reflection. There's been this energy coming through quite a while about the quickening of manifestations, and this is really going to continue to pick up, and it's in direct relation to where your focal point is, you know. And there's something about the focus has been fixated on this psychic imprint that's creating the drag and these kind of repeat experiences. But there's some kind of initiation that's going to be complete here, and this energy is going to be quite transformed, powerful. And that brings us back again to that 12th house energy, the blind spots lit up. Something is finally learned. Something is finally seen. It rejuvenates the energy. It exalts it. It's no longer in the dissension phase. It's in the ascension phase, and the great work is complete. You see? It's honing the craft. It's also bringing forward the gifts from that cycle. What do we got here? Yes, expectation. Expectation of the renewal of this energy, the turning of the wheel of fortune, and the great work of the high priestess being complete. Okay? Finding the strength to transform, finding the strength to face the past in a new way, to assimilate it, understand it from a new perspective. It's a transforming point. Really potent energy. Let's get around here of these just to get some real, okay, that wanted to come out of its own accord there. Yeah, see, this is what's in a state of flux, this state of despair. This is what you're trying to get free of. These repeat cycles of finding yourself in the same spot, not understanding, how do I keep ending up here? Even when I am optimistic, or even when I do take the actions I feel like I need to take, how do I keep ending up here? And can you give me a clue? How do I find the way through, Spirit? Just show me the way. I'll step on the road. But that's the thing. It's like, no, man. The road is through you. The road rises up to meet you through you. And the only way that can happen is when you're willing to be open to what that road looks like, instead of having some preconceived notion about where you're going, because there's something here about you're not clear about that yet, you know. And that moment is about to be revealed to you. It's going to come on through. Okay, so let's go ahead and get some further details about this. Yeah, you don't understand that you're about to have quite a different experience here once your blind spot is lit up, privileged lady. That's when you'll move into more of that Empress energy. Okay, this is like the receptive quality needs to come through. If you want the sun, you got to bring in the lunar essence to harmonize. Yeah. The intuition, the emotions, the receptivity, the release, the flow has to be in place for that light to have a place to actually emerge and come through. We need that fire to merge with the water to form the new land. It can't rise up if there's not what's needed to nourish the growth present. And so that's something that's being resolved here. Right now, you may be grappling with some situations where you feel like, why do I keep feeling like life is telling me no? Or you might be feeling really bummed out because you feel like things are a grind and I have to keep doing this shit I don't want to do. And this doesn't fulfill me. You put things off, you know. You're constantly canceling out on something. You're delaying. Procrastination is your ally. It's trying to highlight something to you. Maybe that's not the way through. Maybe it's not the right fit for you. Maybe that's something that is more aligned with who you used to be, but it's not where you're going now. And it's really helpful to have that kind of insight, as frustrating as it may be, because that's a key. It's a key. It's a key of liberation. It opens up the possibility. You know, if you can admit, like, okay, maybe I don't want this, or maybe this isn't right for me. Or maybe I just can't keep doing this way. I just can't. I can't even find the motivation. Then that's a key to stop. Stop. Let go. Don't fight it, you know. Figure out what you need to do to create a little space from that, to gain clarity, and then you'll see the pathway opens up in front of you. The transformation is complete. You might need that, a little bit of space. Stop pressurizing yourself, you know, to feel like you have to follow through with something that you keep delaying, you know. For one reason or another, it ain't it right now. There's something you're still integrating here. When we look at the woods is representative of the subconscious, of the consciousness, and there's something here you're still rewiring here, and you're just about complete. And you'll see in the middle of August, when we're out of that retrograde energy, the view up ahead is going to be very different, and what you see is possible for your future, for your dreams, is going to be completely transformed. Right? Beautiful energy, because you have the strength to revision the past, to move forward in a different way than you ever have before. Okay, so your despair is going to transform. But first, there has to be the closure of the road that leads back there. Yeah, and your occupation with it, you know? Because as long as you're too occupied with what something used to be, it can never become what it's meant to be. You can't move forward that way. So there's something about needing to release that occupation. But I do feel like, you know, we do have an alignment energy coming in here, official person. It's a thing of power. And we got great fortune coming in with this. So I do feel like there is a fateful meeting coming in here that has the stuff of destiny written all over it. It's great fortune to come into alignment with a particular star mate here. Great fortune for this fateful meeting that will be a pathway through. And it may come through an encounter with something you've already encountered before. But it can't be rushed, okay? It's going through this process of transformation. So let it be what it's going to be instead of trying to force a fit. And, you know, I also think this is about you taking that place of authority, where it's like, I'm the official person. 43 on the clock. Double sevens, okay? Number of synchronicity. So let's go ahead and bring this in. I want to just do 3 different reality tunnels to move through this Mercury retrograde energy. And I'm working with the Herbal Astrology Oracle here. Real succinct messages that are going to come through just to help you really simply have a point of focus as you move through this retrograde that will support you in the way you're being asked to perform. In the way you're being asked to perform. Take your place on the stage of life. No more sitting backstage. You're going to have to step into the spotlight in some way in your life. That's interesting. Perhaps that's what the Kazemi is bringing in for you. It's highlighting something where you are meant to take center stage, where you're meant to take the leading role, where you're meant to be in the spotlight in some regard, or there's going to be some kind of visibility around the moves you're making here. Okay, so 3 piles. Just tune in to whatever pile feels right to you. I'm not going to give it any identifying markers, so it could be, you know, you're just drawn to a certain number, 1, 2, or 3. You may feel like, I feel drawn to all of those numbers. I want all of those reads. That's okay too. You know, it could be a couple resonate with you, you know, whatever you desire, okay, whatever feels right to you. But for the sake of focus, there's something very powerful about single pointed focus that helps really highlight those details. So I'm encouraging you to have decisiveness, because the more clean you keep things, less complicated, more simplistic, the closer you get to what's true, what's authentically aligned with you. So, but you know, whatever floats your boat, man. It's just a suggestion, okay? All right, I'm going to go ahead and cut these decks. So this first deck I'm cutting here is going to be pile 3. This middle one is going to be pile 2. And then what's left is pile 1, okay? So pick your pile, 1, 2, or 3. All right. And let's go ahead and open up here with pile 1 at 46, 44. Okay, Wheel of Fortune energy. Also coming in with that 44 Master Builder number. Something manifesting here, new foundation for a manifestation. Could be something that's rising up out of the past. You have strength to establish the foundation for this now, where maybe you weren't able to before. Ooh, and you did make it through an initiation, because when you bring that energy together, it's 18, the moon. So you did go through some kind of transformation spiritually here. You've been through a spiritual initiation. You had to go through some heavy territory here. But you have the light you need in your lantern to guide you forward as you start to move out of the South Node. And what are you being initiated into? Your heart. Something very unexpected is coming in here with the energy of Uranus. And it's also coming in with Venus. So you are going to be shocked the way your heart space is transformed. There's an experience coming in here that is going to crack your heart open. Crack your heart open, and this is going to bring justice. It's going to bring balance for you. You know, but first you had to go through the rough bits before your heart would be ready to open up to this. It's like first you had to be thrashed across those rocks on the shore, you know, and that grand water trine, it really just cracked you open. You may have felt like a little broken after you went through some of these heavy emotions that surfaced in you, but the reality is it didn't break you. It broke you open. You're going to see that with this sweetness that comes through. There's something happening in your heart space where there's like this real coming back to your heart after feeling like it was hard for you to even land in your own heart for a while, hard for you to access it. You might have done that out of self-protection, but now there's no need to have this protection here. And it could be that a lot of you found nurturing and support to open up your heart through your connection with your ancestors here. Some of you really turned to your spirituality. You got back to your spiritual roots that helped you open your heart. But what's coming in here is very unexpected, okay? Very unexpected. We have parrot energy coming in here too. I feel like somebody you're going to be communicating with. When you share experiences, you're almost going to feel like you're parroting each other. You may be finishing each other's sentences, you know, saying the same word at the same time, or there's something about this, like there's like a real mirrored experience here. You're going to realize this when you communicate with each other. Both of you felt like you've had some kind of Sisyphean task here where you had to keep pushing this boulder up the hill. And just as you got to the top, it would roll back down and you'd have to start again. There's something about this connection, the situation that's been a lot of heavy lifting and has seemed somewhat of an impossible task to ever get on the same page with this person or be able to figure out the way through back to the heart. But there's something cracking open here, and it may be through communication, like really unexpected communication that takes you by surprise. This could be somebody communicating with you in such a raw, honest, vulnerable way that it completely disarms you. And where you go 50-50 on the clock, wow. Yeah, and where you were kind of on the fence about something like, I don't know, you know, I don't know if I want to open up to this. You can't resist. It cracks you open. Wow. Okay. And what do we have on the top of the deck here? So beautiful. And then you get back to the source. You get back to the beginning with purity. It's that beginner's mind. And this whole path of discovery is opening up for you. And look at that. It's like now you're making it up to the mountain together. You see where the sun is. You know how to get there together. Like there's something you're rooting together here. You see the two trees? They come together though. And we got this bird here also coming in as a guide. Birds of a feather flock together. That's what I heard. You two are one and the same. You may go back to childhood with this person. This could be even for some of you that have children, you know, grown children. You may have felt like some kind of disconnect, separation. This could be reestablishing a connection. This could be a connection that goes way back, or this could be a connection that it really awakens a very young, vulnerable part of you, or maybe stirs something in you that you haven't felt since your childhood. Possibility, excitement. You know, those butterflies in your tummy, you know, when you're really feeling somebody, you know, that first love kind of vibe for some of you, okay? It's coming in with the solar energy, the sun. I feel like this is something that will really come in very clear for you, something that will build that warmth in your life, this connection. You'll understand we're rooting something here, and you may be rooting something together, right? Even though you may be separate for a while, like, you know, not really merging your roots together just yet, but yet you are, through your individual work, forming a pathway that leads up that mountain together. It's like no longer do you feel like you have to do this heavy lifting on your own. Like somebody's here doing it with you. It's bringing renewal in your relationship. Coming in with magician energy. Wow, it's really beautiful. It's so beautiful. I love that. Cake out of the deck. Yeah. You're working together to find the sweetness here. You don't have to do the work alone anymore. That's what this is. Fully. This is like Saturn and Jupiter coming together. That's your blessing. You don't have to do this alone anymore. There's somebody who's going to work with you to get to the sweetness here. You're going to nurture this together. Because you gain the strength to know that first you have to fill your own cup. You have to nurture yourself. And maybe you look to the other to fill your cup. And now there's something about two individuals here have really learned how to fulfill their own needs. And as a result of that, they don't look to have those needs fulfilled in each other. Instead, there's just this beautiful sharing. When you bring your energies together, you're able to nurture something totally new here. So yeah, during this time, take the time to nurture yourself, because what's happening here is your star is coming into view. And this is a key relationship. You're moving into productivity with each other. It's really beautiful, but there's there's this need to really release the old grief around this situation. Oh, wow. It's beautiful. Yeah, this is deep healing. Cauldron of Dagda energy. The energy is being transformed. You're getting to that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow after this awakening moment comes in. It's communication. Mercury, communication coming in. It's that maverick energy of Uranus and Gemini coming in here. That Uranian energy, just really kind of like switching everything up and what's possible for you. It's electrifying. It shocks you. It's a tower, but it's a tower that is the vehicle forward, because you couldn't open up to this journey that's unfolding here unless you had the perspective that's going to be lit up for you. All right? So look at signs around this, little moments being lit up for you around this that are going to come in with that Mercury Cazimi around the 12th. I feel like that's when this phase will really start to kick off here for you, and you'll have a clearer sense of what this is, okay? Powerful message, beautiful. Okay, pile 2 coming in at, 55, major change, major transformation, everything's in flux. One journey ends, a new one begins. Double Wheel of Fortune, Judgment. If you're not sure which way to go, or you're not sure what is your destiny, you're going to be very clear about it by the time you arrive at the end of this Mercury retrograde cycle. Ooh. And you're embracing a whole new sensual flow. To me, this energy is coming in with both Neptune and Venus. This is a very dreamy, priestessy kind of energy. Mandrake has long been associated with alchemy and magic, and it's one of the master roots here. And so I do feel like there's something here that you're retrieving. It's a bit of a master root, a little bit of wisdom here. It's something rooted in your being, and it's discovered through really making contact with yourself on a very sensual level, engaging all your senses, really getting back into experiencing your life. You may have gone through a period where you were a little bit on autopilot, maybe because you felt like you were moving through less than dreamy territory. Maybe it was more nightmarish territory for a while, and you really disconnected in some ways from fully experiencing the moment. There's something about coming into the moment and experiencing the moment. Your senses are going to be more activated at this time. I think that you're really going to have a different level of engagement with your day-to-day experiences as you move through this retrograde. You might also be really doing a lot of healing around your sacral chakra. Perhaps you pulled something out at the root that was blocking you from fully embodying your sacral chakra, Svadhisthana. And you're really coming back into this space, really owning your creative energy, really owning your sensual energy too. Really embodying this. There's something coming through about really embodying this and giving yourself opportunity to experience nurturing and renewal through pampering, through pleasure, through allowing yourself to just luxuriate in life. This is very important. A lot of you are doing deep, deep healing in relation to this. And it's important maybe because of, it's coming through as psychic imprints of shame. This could be around the body, or this could be around intimacy. This could have its roots in the deep past, this could be connected to a past lover or another experience. In some cases, it could be connected to trauma. And there's something here where you're taking back your power and you're really embodying your right to really be in your creative energy, in your sensual energy. And that does require you to move into more of this state of vulnerability. But I feel like there's a certain magic that you're reclaiming here that may have been cut off for a while. It could have been because you did have somebody else really taking up that space within you because you gave them that access. You know what I mean? You gave them that access. That access. Ooh, that's interesting how that came through. That axis. Yeah, you know, you think of the axis and it makes me think of the axis of the different signs on the elemental level of expression. And there's something to be looked at here. This is interesting because I got the Venusian energy here. And the Mars energy is very much at the forefront, right, in Gemini. So that's making me think of that Aries Libra axis and how that relates to the needs of the individual compared to the needs of what a connection or relationship is asking of us, and how do you balance that out? How do you balance out the call for independence when it comes to the urge to merge with another as well? And how do you do that and hold that in a place of equanimity? There could be a key relationship here that is really playing a role in this healing process. Also, when we look at Neptune, that does make me think of Pisces. It's one of Pisces' rulers. And when we look at that Pisces axis, we, of course, have Virgos. That's that North Node, South Node energy. And this cycle is very much intertwined with those nodes of destiny. So I feel like you're taking back the power of your destiny through trusting your own body sense here. There's something about this, like your body is the key, really trusting your senses and what feels right to you. Where do you feel like giving over and relaxing and letting down your guard and opening up? What allows you to enter that space? And maybe that's something that's been missing in your past that's transforming here, because it is coming in connected to that South Node energy of Virgo. There's some kind of wisdom you're retrieving here and a very special kind of magic that is going to be like a guide for you moving forward here. And I'm seeing the image of Lagos, the rune Lagos, in my mind's eye. And that's like you becoming the waterway. You become the flow. There's something about that. And sensuality is what helps you let go to that flow. And maybe that's what's awakening in you, because for a while it was blocked. It was blocked here. Could be in relation to something from the past. Wow, this is so beautiful. That waterway is opening up. Wow, look at rebirth of Venus energy. Rose quartz coming in as an ally that can help you as you open up your heart again. I do feel like you're flinging the doors open to your heart, and these doors have been closed off for a long time. There's been chains holding these doors shut for a long time, and these doors are flinging open here, and it's like really getting to the other side of something new birthing through you emotionally, creatively. Well, creatively, maybe. It's interesting how that's coming through. Creatively. Instead of creatively. Maybe you need to create something. It's when you're creating that something will open up in the heart space. It helps you integrate these experiences and complete a chain of transformation that's in process here. There's some kind of growth here too that comes through creating. It's when you create that you experience some kind of empowerment here. It could be too that through creating, okay, that you are able to soften, tumble, you know, tumble something that's been a little rough around the edges. There's something here that gets polished. There's something here that gets refined. There's something here that takes on a softer tone, maybe when it's released creatively. And that's something that's been blocked. Some of you have been experiencing some kind of creative block. It's because there is something that needs to be overcome in relation to the past that's been blocking the creative center. But I feel like you're really balancing this energy out. You're also bridging your solar plexus with the heart center here. You're feeling empowered in your heart where maybe you weren't empowered to take up that space before. Strength. You're overcoming a challenge in the past that had you really closing off your heart, and it was limiting the potential of the kind of love you could receive, the kind of pleasure you could receive. I think your relationship with yourself is transforming, but there could be a relationship from your past too that's playing a role in this. Okay, let's go ahead and do a cut of the deck and see what we got here for you. Wow. Pathfinder's on the scene. So some kind of work is complete. It's like the student becomes the teacher. Look at that, 33. Double Empress energy comes in with the Venusian signature. So there's growth here. And there's somebody you're communicating with here too. The two of you are teaching each other. This could be a relationship that's teaching you a lot. And there's the Pathfinder medicine here. So there is a path opening up here for you. And it feels like it's through an alliance. There's somebody you're coming together with here. And it's this connection that is your teacher. Wow. It's really powerful. It's really powerful. This is like a karmic cycle is transforming into the energy of the Empress. And there's growth here in this connection. And it could be that both of you individually needed to learn something here to awaken the teacher within before you could accurately see each other or the possibility of this connection, because I do feel like a choice is being made here and there's alignment. There's a lot of star mates coming in here, but there's something very special that others are coming together to create here. You may be playing an important role in relation to this. You may be passing on the lessons you've learned, maybe through sharing something creatively. You are the weaver, you are the dream weaver, and you're weaving something new into reality here. You're leaving behind your need for armoring, for self-protection with the armadillo here. You know that your creativity is actually your shield here. There's something about not keeping these gifts within you that does provide some kind of, I'm hearing like sovereign protection for you, because this is something that's been sanctioned to you by spirit. It's meant to come through. It comes through your communication with Mercury. This could be something you're creatively sharing here. There's something new being birthed here. It's like your baby. It's like you've gone through a maturation process too. Like that really came through here too. It's like you have rebirthed yourself. You've gone through this entire cycle of transformation, all the way from that maiden or lad energy to the mother-father energy to the crone. the wizard, the sage, you know? And now you're helping maybe share a bit of insight about how to bring something through for others too, who are just starting their journeys. There's something about what you're creating here, and it could be something you're releasing on the World Wide Web. You may be connecting with a lot of people at the distance, but I feel like there's like a musing connection too. You're connecting with your muse. There's something you're transforming here from the past, and it's connecting you with your muse. And this relationship, you inspire each other. You pull the creativity out of each other. You might even be creating something together. And it actually is something that has reach too. And I feel like gathers a community together here too. You're building a web of light. But this makes me think of Ula. It makes me think of the harp of the Dagda, the harp that is able to transform conflict, overcome kind of warring oppositional energies through rather unconventional means, like playing music, you know, playing a song of enchantment that is able to bring a more spirited energy in, where people feel festive and they kind of like let their guard down, let their hair down, and they enjoy themselves and they have a good time. And then there's also the music it plays that puts you to sleep, you know? And there's something about that, like letting something rest, letting something germinate, let seeds that have sown come to fruition here, to be revealed. And then there was another quality. There's a third quality of that magical harp. Oh, what was it? It's eluding me. And maybe that's the key. There's an element here that's eluding you, that's part of what needs to be woven into what you're weaving here. And that's something that you'll get judgment about, that will be revealed to you so you can set this energy in motion. The communication will come in with that Kazemi. Interesting. Yeah, I can't remember. There's a third quality, and I can't remember it. I want to say something about, I don't know if that's right though, but I want to say something about bringing like the power of lightning forward, even though that doesn't feel accurate to me, but it's coming through like that for a reason. So there's some breakthrough moment that's coming in here where you'll see this clearly. Oh, and with that, I got the Magician. Yeah. Very unexpectedly, like a bolt out of the blue, the Wheel of Fortune turns in the most auspicious way. And it could be around this character, somebody who mirrors you, coming in with that kind of Emperor energy signature, as well as the energy of the Fool. Like there's a new beginning here. This is somebody you're going to weave something into being with. Ooh, that's a very cool energy. With ginseng coming in around that Magician, this could be somebody that you have like soul recognition with. Like, even if you've never met this person before, there's some quality that's like, I know you. It could be somebody you've dealt with in the past that you are aware of, but there's always been this quality there, if that's the case, where it's like, we've got many rounds, okay? Interesting. All right, 1, 14, 24. You also got that magician energy coming in with temperance. So something's being transformed. And what's being transformed is giving you the insight you need to move out of the crossroads to make a choice. Ooh, it's bringing you some kind of wealth. There's total transformation here, and the wealth is coming in what's nourishing you here. Certainly there's this flow that's entering your life where there's been something that's felt really blocked here. This flow is coming in. This is communication, that something that's been a big challenge for you, that's been maybe inhibiting you from being able to move forward. Some kind of blockage is being removed. It's because of something you've transformed. It's coming in with the energy of Mercury and Jupiter here. So I feel like this is really good news coming in for you. That you're not going to have such a struggle moving forward here, where you were lacking certain resources and it's really been an inhibiting force and holding you back. I think you're going to just have a steady supply of what you need. This is abundance coming in. This is wealth coming in. But wealth comes in more ways than just monetarily. Although I do feel this peace here where you felt like your success has been inhibited, because when we look at that energy signature of the sun, that is that energy of success. But I feel like there's something here where it does require you maybe to go with the flow and stop fighting something, trying to make your work fit in a certain box. It's like you've been doing something in such a way where you're not really able to bring your full presence and enthusiasm and investment into your work, and it's translating, and that's creating blockages for you where it's preventing you from seeing the kind of success you want to see. You may even feel like you put off your work till last minute, or you try to stay in bed as long as you can before you get up and get ready to go to work here too. There's this kind of procrastination is highlighting something to you. Like this could be as well, like recognizing I got to change my line of work or the way I'm going about something. It's just not working anymore. Whatever you're transforming here, it's going to have more intuitive resonance for you. It's going to feel more right to you. And it's also going to allow you to maybe, you may not realize it, but how you're showing up may be presenting a certain image that's creating blockages for you. And when you start gravitating more toward what's really resonant with you, you're going to feel like all of a sudden opportunities are coming in. All of a sudden you're connecting better with others as well. You're finding people are more receptive to what you offer. You're finding that it's also starting to improve your income, and there's other opportunities coming your way. I also feel like there's a wealth of experience coming in here, opportunities to learn, and that wisdom is going to carry you forward in the future in a big way. Yeah, but this to me feels like it's an opportunity coming in to finally feel like this is what I've been missing. This is what I've been missing. I love it. Really beautiful. Okay, what do we got here? Yeah, this is bringing you a lot of joy. A lot of joy where it's been lacking for a while. We got temperance energy coming in here. You're about to receive some really good news. Really good news. And it does look like there's a relationship here that's bringing a little bit of sweetness into your life. La Chuparosa, hummingbird spirit, connecting you with a soulmate. Venus, Mars coming together. This is a relationship that's balancing out. Or this is finding that person that, they're able to really meet you where you're at. There's a joyful connection coming in here. something really to celebrate. Hummingbirds could be of significance. They could be a winged messenger coming in for you, signaling this time of sweetness and joy that's about to come into your life. And there's also something that's communicated here. Something communicated here fills your heart with joy. So somebody's telling you something that's making your heart feel really full. The coffers feel full. Your coffers are spilling over. These words are filling your heart with joy. Special connection coming in relation to this. Hummingbird is associated with the direction of north on the medicine wheel in some traditions. So this makes me feel like have gratitude now, because you're about to receive a great blessing here that's coming through a connection, a very significant relationship. Everything comes down to timing. You may have had to defer instant gratification. Maybe you felt like you've been on your own for a while. You've been really working on transforming yourself, transforming your life, and that's been your focus. Some of you have been really focused on your own stability and your career, maybe because that's something that was missing. You felt like you were missing that special relationship, that special connection, and whatever this is, it's coming in, it's really filling your heart with joy. Somebody's words are music to your ears. You'll feel like you got some angels on the outfield with this one. I feel that there's something about this that feels like kind of heaven sent. And it's 1:21:14 on the clock. You completed something. You brought something to completion. I feel like it's the old story where you had to just kind of like make do. Maybe you dealt with a lot of situations where you had to make peace with the bare minimum. And now it's like there's some kind of fullness coming in here on every level. But whatever it is, it really makes you feel like this joy in your heart. There's joy, there's sweetness here. And news coming in, words that are spoken, that is music to your ears. I don't know what this is, but it could be even like maybe somebody wrote a song for you. Maybe you're getting serenaded. I don't know what that is, but somebody's dedicating a song to you or something they created to you. Interesting. This is a very special connection though with this individual. So see if you can move into that space of gratitude, because gratitude is a way to move into that flow of reciprocation and abundance. And if you felt like things have been a little rough for a while, it's been hard to find reasons to feel grateful or optimistic, maybe start a gratitude practice during this retrograde cycle where you just acknowledge, 3 things every day. It can be at the close of your day as well as the opening of your day. It's interesting when you just have a simple practice of, as soon as you open up your eyes first thing in the morning, just think of 3 things that you're grateful for, no matter how small it may seem. And then before you go to bed at night, bring gratitude with you as you drift off to sleep. And list 3 things that you're grateful for that you encounter during the day. You'll be surprised what shift that creates, something so small. But I feel like you're being lined up for a real blessing here and some kind of connection that's bringing you joy. Yeah, right on time. Right on time. I don't know why. I feel like this comes in like at the 11th hour, like right on time. Right on time. The timing of this, the way it comes in is perfection. Absolute perfection. Okay, let me get a cut of the deck here for you and see what we got. Look at this. Beautiful. You hold a lot of power. You hold a lot of healing gifts. You hold a lot of healing gifts. This is badger medicine. medicine woman energy, you know? You learn so much emotionally. I feel like whatever communication is coming in here, it's allowing you to feel less guarded. It might bring some kind of release. It might also do something to temper where you used to feel a lot of defensiveness and anger, like something comes in here and it just washes over you. It's going to come in around that new moon. Somebody is taking action here to open up the lines of communication, and whatever they're revealing to you, where you were feeling really heated about something or felt like you had to defend yourself or be on guard here, it's like it instantly quells all of that. I also feel like you could be bringing words forward too in how you share communication in this connection that allows somebody to feel like they can, you know, actually open up to the experience too. This could be a person who's normally very guarded, very defensive. Something happens here that allows a lot of heated emotions to be released, a lot of old resentment, old anger, and it's cleansing away the old energy. It's making a fresh start possible. I feel like you have a fresh start too. Some of you may have a fresh start in your career. You may be getting into some kind of healing profession. You may be sharing something with others that supports their transformation. There's something that's being lit up here. It's a direct result of what you've been through and the way you've been able to navigate it and do so not with force, but in a very peaceful way. Way of the Peaceful Warrior energy. If you haven't read that book could provide a key for you. That book changes lives. It really does. You may want to give that book a read if you've never read it before. If you've read it before, it might be calling you to revisit it. You might be playing a Socrates role. That's one of the main characters in the book. You may be acting as an unassuming teacher to another because they see the way you have navigated a particular battle, or there's some piece of that you're meant to bring forward here. You've earned the right to hold this medicine. You've earned the right to bring this medicine forward to others too. There's something about this. It's like Spirit saying yes. So if you felt really called to do some kind of spiritual work or get into some healing line of work, this is acknowledgement that yes, you hold these gifts and you are meant to share them. And they are part of your waterway. They are part of your flow, moving you forward here. Look at this. Commune. Judgment. So you're moving out of the shadow and you're stepping into the light. You've integrated your shadow here and you're able to hold it in balance. And there's something you're meant to externalize here with the solar energy. Bring it forward. I feel like this is you really sharing what you've learned. And as you share what you've learned through whatever medium, creatively, through your work, also in this relationship, there's like this communion that's happening here. It's a thing of power. There's a lot of magic that you're building here. Also, there's a huge connection here with nature. So it could be some of you, nature plays a direct role in the work that you're going to be doing. So some of you could be herbalists, or you're meant to share your magic with others, or you're here to be a steward of the earth and you're helping people reconnect in that way. Or you might be doing some kind of work that's about vision questing and guiding others through that process, you know? Doing workshops, retreats out in remote areas where people get to go through real intense experiences of the way we really reconnect with ourselves when we reconnect with the land, you know. There's something about this. You may be starting a community garden. I got a lot of different messages coming in here. There's something about what you're sharing here and what's coming through for you. It feeds into community, and it creates this cohesiveness, this unifying point. It's really beautiful, whatever you're sharing here. There's a new opportunity coming in relation to this. I feel it's like specifically around your work that comes in with the new moon in Cancer on the 15th. Very powerful. That's just, you know, few days after that Mercury Cazimi. So yeah, there could be some kind of illumination of your path forward here. But I feel like there's something beautiful happening in a connection here. Somebody arriving on your path just right on time. It just feels so timely. And there's so much sweetness around this connection and joy around it. And I feel like the two of you may be partnering on something here too. And it brings wealth. And for some of you, maybe this is like a creative partnership. This could be somebody you're partnering with on a vision you have here too. Okay, it's really beautiful, whatever this is. A lot of joy brewing here for you. 1:31:18 on the clock. Yeah. Big like 31:13 energy signature there. So there's like kind of this mirroring quality. It's got the vibes, a little bit of role reversal too. It's like when the student becomes the teacher, some of you might be reconnecting with an old teacher too, and you now have a very different perspective of that relationship. Oh, isn't that kind of cool? Like if you used to be a student, maybe you and your teacher, you bring certain things forward now that is showing something new to your teacher, and you're now bringing your energies together. There's something you're co-creating here. It's very powerful. Ooh, that's a very special message for somebody there. Those numbers could be of significance. 31, 13. Ooh, I just saw 132:17. So yes, this partnership is key. It's something that unlocks a great gift of potential, and it's very much in alignment with the star. But I feel like this is somebody that you've worked with before. There's some kind of connection that's already present there. So I'll be really curious to hear what that is for those of you who chose reality tunnel number 3. Very, very interesting energy. Okay. I hope you found something worthwhile there for you to guide you through this retrograde cycle. And I'm moving through it on this wave of nostalgia, and also, you know, just trying to go with the flow no matter how it goes, and just giving myself over to the process. So, you know, continue to have that as like a visualization point. Anytime you're trying to figure out how to move with this energy, even when the unexpected stuff comes, think of it as like a waterfall. You know, you can't fight the flow of a waterfall. There's only one way to move with waterfall, and that's just to give yourself over to the free fall, okay? You like where the energy carries you. Just let yourself go to that flow, and you'll be surprised what you find. All right. And we'll all get there somehow, some way. Things are moving. I know that much. And where we're going, it's a lot better than where we've been. So there's transformation underway. And along the way, Godspeed.